Welcome to Torch Talk.
BHS News for the students, by the students.
Coming up next.
Meet our head students.
Primary gets curious.
New teacher fun facts.
I'm Harmony.
And I'm Mila.
And this is Torch Talk.
It's great to be back. We certainly had an eventful start to the school year.
Yeah, we've had 2 close calls with hurricanes.
And sadly, Queen Elizabeth II passed away. What an amazing person she was.
Did you know our QEH is actually named after her?
Yes, I understand Queen Elizabeth Hall was built in 1952, the same year that Queen Elizabeth ascended to the throne.
And she visited Bermuda right after her coronation in 1953. In total, Queen Elizabeth visited Bermuda 6 times.
Her most recent visit was in 2009, in celebration of the 400th anniversary of the English settlement of Bermuda.
Speaking of leaders, Torch Talk had the opportunity to interview our head students, Marley and Sierra.
Welcome to our head students, Marley and Sierra. We were hoping you could answer a few questions for us today. Tell us a little about yourself. What do you like to do outside of school?
So outside of the typical Netflix and YouTube, I enjoy chess, oil pastels, and sometimes computer games when I'm not studying. So when I have free time, I like to do creative things.
That's the same for me. I enjoy singing and acting a lot. I'm in a youth choir outside of school. I love hanging out with my friends and, of course, catching up on schoolwork.
What is your best memory from BHS?
My favorite memory from being at BHS was doing the color run a couple years ago. It was the first one that we'd done at BHS, and I really enjoyed doing the obstacle course with everybody in my year, and it was just great fun.
My favorite memory at BHS was my first TOK class in IB because it was more of a surprise of being the only one in the class, and I really enjoyed the freedom I got in talking and thinking of ideas.
What's the best piece of advice someone has given you?
For me, it was don't stress too much because it seems not very insightful and helpful, but in the bigger picture, when I look back on things, it's the same.
For me, it's get to know yourself, because especially at the high school ages and middle school, that's when you're getting to know yourself more. And so for me, taking time to just know who I am and know who I want to be, that's the best advice I've ever been given.
How do you stay motivated when school gets challenging?
To be honest, being motivated when school gets challenging is very difficult, but I do like to think about the end goal and graduation, especially as year 13s, but more generally before that, I just like to think of the next task ahead.
As Marley said, I like to look at the bigger picture as well when school gets challenging, but I also remember that everyone around me is going through pretty much the same thing when it comes to school. So I kind of look at them and I look at myself and I realize, it's not really too bad because we have each other to work through it.
As head students, many of us look up to you as role models. Who do you look up to as a role model?
As a role model, I don't really have any one specific person I look up to, but it's more a bunch of ideas from a bunch of different influential people as well. But for me, I have an idea of who I want my future self to be, and I always look up to her when I need a role model.
Being at BHS for the past few years in secondary and seeing the head girls before us, I also looked up to them and other people in leadership positions that I admired, like the mentors of the enterprise team.
Could you tell us about one initiative you hope to implement this year?
This year, we plan to implement a Lead by Example campaign encompassing student involvement, personal development, and global engagement. Basically, we want students to be more involved in the world we live in and develop the skills to be a good part of that.
Thank you so much for joining us on Torch Talk.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
This year, the BHS mindset is courage, curiosity, and contribution, the 3 C's.
Well, our head students are definitely contributing.
They sure are, and our primary students sure are curious.
I know it's Jello, but it's kind of disturbing. How cool is that? They got to eat Jello brains.
Our new teachers are also cool. We asked them to tell us one interesting fact about themselves.
Hi students, my name's Mr. Acedes and I teach English, and a moderately fun fact about me is that my family is from Cyprus.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Walters. I teach creative design and technology, so I like all things practical, hands-on and problem solving. An interesting fact about me is I'm allergic to bananas.
Good afternoon, my name is Mrs. Noble. I'm teaching humanities here and I love walking as well as the humanities and I completed a 50-mile walk in under 24 hours a few years ago.
Hello, my name is Miss Johnston and I teach mathematics and I'm the head of year 8. If I was to share a fun fact about myself is that I have a secret talent that I can eat at any restaurant, and when I'm done eating at the restaurant, I can go home and recreate the meal without the recipe.
Hello, my name's Mr. Lloyd. I teach English, and my fun fact is I used to live on the Isle of Man, which is the home of the fastest motorbike race in the entire world.
Hi, I'm Miss Cunningham. I teach biology and I'm a qualified rescue diver.
Hello, my name is Kate Ross and I am the University Admissions Counsellor. I'm also head of Year 12, so I'm working with the students in their last 2 years at Birmingham High School. My fun fact is that I once cooked dinner for David Bowie.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss McLaughlin. I teach English and a fun fact about me is that I used to live on a ship for 2 years at sea.
Hi, my name is Miss Manuel. I teach English, drama and music, and my fun fact is that I've never broken a bone in my body.
Hi, I'm Miss Mackay, head of ARD, and I'm new to BHS. One interesting fact about me is I love to do school trips. Kilimanjaro, took about 37 kids up there, also Mount Kenya 3 times, Thailand, you name it, I would like to go there. So fingers crossed, some more school trips for me at BHS. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Miss Flood. I teach Spanish and French, and an interesting fact about me maybe is that I love roller skating, and I used to play roller derby, which is a contact sport, often mainly played by women, and it's quite fun and fast and a little bit dangerous.
Okay, hey, I'm Miss Lee. I'm here teaching PE, and one interesting fact about me is I have taken off in more planes than I have landed in.
One interesting fact about me is I love horses and I competed on Island for 10 years in equestrian riding.
And now a quick message from our counselors.
Oh my god, her dress is so ugly.
What's wrong with me? Why do they keep bullying me?
Sweet pea, it's your fairy godmother. Come this way and I will help you.
Cinderella, I don't believe what I'm hearing. This is not good, but I'm here to offer some assistance. You know that bullying is repeated acts done on purpose to someone who has more power than the next person. Usually that person might be more popular, might be older, or a lot bigger than you. But we're going to get through this because no one deserves to be bullied.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to offer you some strategies for if it happens again. Now, if you feel equal power, I want you to stand up to that bully. You can approach that bully and just ask them why is it that they're doing what they're doing. Also, if it's happening in school, make sure you tell the school counselor or you tell a teacher or another trusted adult in the building. It is definitely important to do so. Next, go home and tell your parents. Let them know what has been happening. Okay? And also, keeping a journal of the bullying is very important too. That way, when you do report it, you have everything listed. And the last thing is to stay with safe friends. So by that I mean hanging out with the friends that you are comfortable with and trying to stay with them.
Thank you. I think I can do all of those things. Thank you, Fairy Godmother.
And I want you to go back to the ball now, and I want you to have a great time. But at least you have the tools, for if it happens again, you'll know what to do.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Do you want to dance?
That was awesome.
Now, let's see what Carmela has for us on Sports Talk.
Several of our students are participating in gig rowing. We asked them what they thought.
So gig rowing was fun because it was something different from what we usually do in PE, and it was a change from everything, and we got to leave the premises, so that was very fun.
Gig rowing was really fun. I liked being out on the water with all of my friends, and it was really challenging, but eventually I got the hang of it.
I was fortunate enough to be one of the rowers too. I thought it was fun to feel the wind through my face. We invited Ms. Davis to join us today to tell us more about gig rowing. Ms. Davis, what exactly is a gig boat?
Okay, a gig boat is a 32-foot long boat, which is about 5 feet wide as well, and it has 6 blades or oars that go out, 3 on each side, with a coxswain who steers the boat, and then 6 rowers who row the boat. There's what's called the stroke, who controls the speed at which everybody rows, so they have to keep in time. Once everybody's in time, the boat moves very smoothly, and it can go up to 14 knots if you're really trained well and all work together.
Pilot boats played an important part in Bermuda's multiracial maritime history, didn't they?
Yes, the gigs were actually used to take the pilots out to bring the ships in safely into Bermuda's harbor because of all the reefs. Now the history is simple. The fastest gig out to the boat, out to the ship, and get their pilot on board gets paid. So what happened is they would have somebody on a watchtower who would look out and see that a ship was coming, and then they would sound an alarm, and all the people that were in that gig would rush to the gig, get it overboard, and row out and race to row out as fast as they can to that ship and get their pilot on board. You only got paid if you got your pilot on board. We have 9 gigs in Bermuda now. There's 9 because there are 9 parishes. Each of the gigs are named after famous pilots, one of which is Jemmy Darrell. And Jemmy Darrell helped to bring in Admiral Murray's boat, ship called the Resolution, and he did it so skillfully and so well that later on Admiral Murray asked for Jemmy Darrell to be released from slavery, and that actually happened because of his excellent service as a pilot.
Could you tell us a bit about gig rowing at VHS, and how can people get into gig rowing in Bermuda?
So students in year 10 and 11, during their option lesson, have the option to go gig rowing. And we can take obviously 6 people because there are 6 rowers, and if we have more than that, they go on a rotation. So if anybody's interested in rowing, they can go on to BermudaPilotGigClub.com and apply to join the club. You get 3 novice rows. Obviously we're having our rows in school, so you would still get those. And then if you're still interested, it's $25 a year, which has got to be the least expensive club on the island.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
That looked like so much fun.
Yes, and they were courageous to try something new.
In keeping with our 3 C's mindset, our Roaming Reporter segment is focused on courage.
Roaming Reporters asked the VHS community, how are you courageous at school?
I try new things.
I'm courageous because I stand up for my friends.
We ask questions in class when we're unsure.
I am brave at school because I'm good at making friends.
I know that I'm brave in class when I raise my hand when the teacher asks a question and I know the answer.
I'm courageous by doing the hard work and telling that I can do it. I'm courageous of doing my spelling and doing my homework every night. I'm courageous by being a loyal student to VHS.
We're brave in school!
Wow, we have a lot of brave students here at VHS.
And that's it for this broadcast.
We're always looking for new stories.
Feel free to drop your suggestions in our new suggestion box in the green screen room.
Or you can email us at torchtalk@vhs.bm. Torch Talk.
News for the students, by the students.